If you've ever felt like you're spinning the wheels in your business, juggling too many tasks, or struggling to find the time to actually work on your business instead of just in it, this might be the episode for you. Hi, I'm Vicky. I'm the manager of Fresh Perspective Resourcing. We are a recruitment company based in Chorley, and today we're talking about stepping back in your business, creating headspace, and why letting go of control in the right way can be one of the most powerful things you do for your business. Joining me today is Kylie Jones. She's the founder of Advantage Virtual Agency. She started a business 10 years ago after experiencing the challenges of juggling work and family life, and now she's passionate about helping business owners simplify, streamline, and grow their businesses. She's proof that outsourcing isn't just about getting tasks off your plate, it's about freeing up mental space, creating systems that work, and giving you the time to focus on what really drives growth. We'll be diving into practical strategies for stepping back from the day-to-day, how to know what and when to outsource, and how a simple audit of your tasks and systems can completely transform how your business runs. So, Kylie, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here.
I know, I'm excited to have you on here. You help us a lot at Fresh, so we know each other quite well. It's nice to have you on here. But for anyone that doesn't know you, can you just give us a quick overview of who you are, what you do, and what kind of businesses that you typically support?
Yeah, so I'm Kylie. As you just said, I run Advantage Virtual Agency. I named it that. Can't say it ever.
I know, when I was seeing it then, I was like...
Not the hardest thing in the world to say, but anyway. And we support business owners with behind the scenes of the business. So anything that you need to run a business, we can help you with, apart from the actual doing. So I couldn't do recruitment, but I could do all the other stuff behind the scenes. Everything from admin, systems, content, launches, operations, strategy. We help with all that. We mainly work with service-based business owners, coaches, consultants, people who have got a small team already. And they've grown to the point where they're doing too much themselves. So a lot of them are reliant on the founder or the person that set the business up. So essentially we step in, take the operational load off, and help them actually run their business like a business instead of just winging it, basically.
Yeah, I feel like that's what you did with us here at Fresh. It was Laura doing everything, and then you've come and stepped in and helped us. You do a lot with the Freshies, don't you, for us? You literally run all our interviews for it, which is a big task. I don't know how we did it before you.
That's very nice to hear. I love it. I love, like, when you come and it's like, how are you function? I kind of look and go, how do you function? And then slowly you can get, like with the Freshies, it's been a slow burn to get the processes set up. I think this year's been pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
From a process perspective.
We've done a great job this year. But yeah, you're a massive help to us, and I imagine you're the same with all your other businesses that you help. So yeah, excellent. So I think I mentioned a bit earlier on that you started your business after like quite a challenging time personally. So how did that experience shape not just why you do what you do, but how you support your clients on a day-to-day basis?
So my youngest daughter, she is 11 now. When she was little, she was quite poorly. Nothing crazy serious, but she'd stop breathing in her sleep.
Oh wow.
Anything up to like twice an hour. So she'd just stop. She was dead poorly. She had to have surgery and things. So I worked in a school at the time, and I would literally sit on the sofa with her propped up in my arms so she could sleep. Wake up, get dressed and go to work, put a smile on my face, go to work. And I look at the pictures now and I look like Uncle Fester. I had like the big black eyes, and you just kind of function day to day. I'd drop her at nursery at like when they opened at 7, say, don't phone me unless she needs to go to hospital. And then pick her up at 6, and then we'd just keep repeat. And I worked in a school at the time. I assisted the business manager at the time, and they were only going to allow me like a week off after her operation because it was during term time. So I left. um,
Priorities.
so I left, but I was kind of scrolling and I saw something about a VA. I'd never heard of a VA before, and I saw it, and I kind of went to my husband. I was like, I reckon I can make a pretty good go of this. I reckon, let's do it. So I started building it before I left work, and luckily I did because it took her like 8 weeks to get back into nursery.
Oh, wow.
Um, and then I started working with. She's all right now, bye. She's just a pain in the bum.
Good, good.
Um, um, so yeah, it took me a long while to kind of build my business up, marketing, stuff like that. And then the kind of people that I still now do work with, like coaches, consultants, and people like that, they were growing really quickly. Um, and what they were finding was they didn't want to employ people. So they were just taking on freelancers, and all the virtual assistants have different skill sets. So some are good at social media, some are good at. So
Yeah,
instead of doing, let's say it was a coach, instead of doing the coaching, which is what they set their business up to do, they were just managing all their freelancers, and that took up all their time.
yeah.
um, and then that's where the agency was born, because people come to us and they get one point of contact, maybe one or two, but access to a wide range of skill sets that are, in my opinion, high level skill sets. So we've got people that do bookkeeping, people that like doing diary management, people that do social media.
Who who are those people?
I don't know. I found out very early on in my business that I don't like emails and diary management, but there are people that like doing that. Um, I'm very much behind the scenes, so this thing here today is my idea of how. Um, so I've got lots of people that do lots of different things. So let's say, well, Fresh, you come to me, you have me mainly as your main point of contact, but there's like a whole host of people behind the scenes doing stuff. So Dawn does the facilitating and things like that. Um, so then they can just one point of contact, massive team, or not massive, but team behind them. And then they can know that once it's off their plate, it will get done. They don't have to worry about chasing it or anything like that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
sounds good. I know we work with you, but I didn't know you did all them different things. I didn't know you did like bookkeeping and the
Pretty
like,
much everything,
yeah.
yeah. I have a team of editors that do editing for videos and audio and stuff like that as well. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it basically everything that you need in your back office business to
Yeah.
support your business, we can help you with, essentially.
Excellent. So we have touched on it, but like a lot of business owners feel busy all the time. I feel like
Yeah.
Laura is a prime example, but not all busy is bad. What are the key signs that someone is stuck in doing mode in quotation marks and is actually holding the business back because they're not able to grow strategically?
Um, when they're busy,
Yeah.
as in they've got a lot on their plate and they look like they're really busy, but actually nothing's getting done.
Yeah.
Uh, I fall into that trap quite a lot, in that I am quite similar to Laura, is I do have handover control issues, which is ironic because that's what I tell people to do to me.
Yeah.
But I kind of go, oh, I'll just do it myself. Be easier. I'll just do it myself.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then my to-do list got longer and longer and longer. And you just get really busy and you end up replying to messages at 10 o'clock at night because you've not had a chance to get to them during the day. Um, your list is just getting longer and you're not actually ticking anything off of it because you aren't focusing on one thing. You're just flitting from one to the next to the next. Um, and the main thing, I suppose, if you stopped and looked, am I being productive rather than just busy for the sake of busy, is if you took the day off, would it stop? And if the answer to that is yes, then you're kind of stuck in the doing mode of your business.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because I feel like people throw the word busy around a lot, don't they? It was like, oh, we're so busy, we're so busy. But it is like, is it actually beneficial, the busyness,
Yeah,
especially for the business owners as well? Because they obviously have a part to play in growing the business. And if
Yeah.
they're just busy doing stuff that can be delegated, but they can't let that control go,
Yeah.
it probably is quite detrimental, isn't it, to businesses?
And a lot of it as well is probably the fear. There is a lot of fear of that. A lot of it is procrastination. Like I'll keep myself busy with stuff that I could give one of my associates to do because I don't want to do that big planning job that I've got to do to grow my business because that involves me being a grown up and I don't really like being a grown up. I like doing all the nice stuff. Um so a lot of it is that. Um but like one of my goals last year is to be able to go on holiday and be on holiday. I know that sounds really stupid. And a lot of business owners, there's a difference between checking in on work because you want to
Yeah.
and having to spend half your holiday doing stuff because there's no one else to do it. Um, so yeah, that's a good sign is to know.
If you can go on holiday, basically.
I think so, yeah. Or just have the day off without thinking, oh God, I've got to do this, I've got to do that.
Yeah, feeling like everything's gonna crumble
Yeah.
without you there, basically. Yeah. Yeah, that is yeah, that probably is a good sign because it is like with us here. So, like, Laura and Emily will go on holiday, but they're now at a point where they don't actually have to do anything. They can go
It's
on
because
holiday,
they want
enjoy it.
to.
Yeah, but they do check in, like, every day because it's their business and they want to
Yeah.
know what is going on and is everything okay, and are we all okay? But it isn't we don't need them here for
Yeah.
the business to function. So that is the difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, people often think that outsourcing is just about offloading tasks, but in reality, it's about creating capacity to go through delegation, like what we've just been talking about. So, what changes do you typically see in a business once that headspace is created and they kind of have the ability to delegate?
When people start working with us, I'm quite clear in that it's going to be hard at the beginning because you're going to have to be telling us what you want, and we're going to be checking is that right, and
Yeah.
that would be the same with any kind of people that are helping you. Um, so at the beginning, it does always feel like I could have just done this myself. Why am I bothering? But I always say to them, give it 3 months, um, because you'll sit down one day and go, "Oh, I've just written an article. I've just found the time to sit down." I'm just using that as an example. I've just found the time to sit down and write a LinkedIn article. It's not due till next week, but I've done it because you've got the headspace to do it. Or they'll come to us and say, "I've had time to think and I want to run this course or I want to do a new lead magnet or something like that." That previously they wouldn't have had the headspace to do because they're so busy in the day-to-day nitty-gritty of repetitive tasks that all the big stuff that actually grows your business gets put to the back again. So a lot of the stuff that we do can be like crazy, well, it is really boring, some of it, but it's also very essential for businesses to grow. So, stupid things like reconciling transactions, it's a very important part of your job. Um, but we work with a company quite local to us, and they're a family run company. And like they were paying invoices like 2 or 3 times because they hadn't been reconciled off because there wasn't the time.
Yeah.
And now we have a process where it's a very simple one. Every Wednesday, we go in, we add their new invoices to the system, we reconcile off any payments that have been made, and they know that's happening on a Wednesday. So if they go in on a Thursday, they can make their payments. And
That's crazy that they were paying that so many times just
yeah,
from not having the time to do that and probably losing so much money.
yeah, and you'll be surprised how that. I've been, yeah, you'd be surprised, and it's just little things like that, and then they'll chase. If you're constantly thinking, oh, I need to follow that person up, I need to do this, I need to do that. Um, I've got to do a LinkedIn article, I've got to post on the social media every day. All of that stuff just clutters your brain, and then you don't have anything left to think about actually why you set your business up in the first place,
Yeah.
what you want it to look like. And I've noticed it more myself since I've started growing my team more since February last year, and I've noticed it more in myself, which is quite nice because then I can pass on that to my clients in that I'm now able to sit down and go, right, how do I actually want this business to look?
Yeah. Mm.
And instead of, you know, being a little hamster on a wheel.
Yeah. I think with the outsourcing though, it's like it's a scary thing, but it's actually a really positive thing for your business because it means you're at that level then where
Yeah.
you do need to be able to outsource to other people because you can't do it all yourself. Like you've built your
Yeah.
business to a point where you actually need some help. And I think it is difficult when you are outsourcing because obviously the people that you're outsourcing it to, they're not part of your company. It's like us with the recruitment. We're not part of that company, but it's about getting to know the people that you're working with, isn't it? Building
Yeah.
up that relationship so you know how they work. Because 'cause I'm presuming with us, I'm presuming we're quite different to a lot of your clients that you have in the way that we are, and it's probably taken a bit of time, but I feel like you really get it now, how we
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it as well is building up. Um, I like to build the relationship. So a lot of VAs or support agencies, whatever you want to call them, they'll say you need to pay X amount of hours a month and you need to stay with us for 6 months. You know, that is lovely. But all that does, I spoke to somebody yesterday actually, is all that will do is then create more headspace filling because they're then thinking, right, I'm paying for these hours or I'm paying for this time. What can I give them?
Yeah.
um, so we always tell people to start off unless they know exactly what they want and we can work it out on a call. Obviously, each business is different, but you know, people just start. I think Fresh started on a pay as you go kind of style. Buy a block of hours. We can either do a project with those hours, or when they're
Yeah.
done, we can say, okay, we don't need you for a little bit. We'll come back and buy some more. But in doing that, it builds up the trust and the relationship. And what we do is we use a system called ClickUp, um, where we record all our tasks that are done. Everyone tracks their time, not for micromanagement, but more so that if you're buying blocks of hours over a period of time, you can look back and go, actually, you're using 5 hours a month or 10 hours a month. Why don't you go on a retainer? That helps you with your cash flow. That helps me with my cash flow. Um, and everyone knows where they're at. So it's kind of really transparent with the work that we do,
Yeah.
which again helps with trust because it's it's their baby. It's I know it myself is that I struggle. So if I'm struggling to let people do my stuff for my business, I've got to appreciate that it's going to be hard for people to just say, "On you, come on,
Yeah,
just do what you
absolutely.
want."
Yeah, because obviously, like what you're doing with companies, you're letting them into your business, and I feel like what we do with companies as well, like hiring people for other people's companies, it's a big deal what you're asking people to
Yeah,
do, and I think you are right. It is about building trust, and we will always do that with new clients when they come on board. Like you said, like buy a little bit of time off us, and then they can come on like a retainer basis or bigger projects with us. But I think it's not about being like, right, we're going to work with you. We'll do 6 months and you're going to give us all this money and we don't know how you work. You don't know how we work. And it's about building those relationships up, isn't it? To create the trust
yeah,
and get to know each other so that it is a very good partnership in the end.
yeah,
Yeah, cool. So we you hear about like a lot of talk about systems and processes, which we kind of think are like buzz phrases. So we did an interview the other year at a awards interview, and they asked us a lot about systems and processes, and it kind of scared us a little bit. But like, because I feel like it feels like you should have these big systems like in place and like tons and tons of processes. But does it actually mean to you when we say like systems and processes?
So for me, well, there's two levels of it really. You can do the big, massive
Yeah.
processes and systems, but for me, and the way we work is so if we use Fresh as an example and the awards, as we've been going, I've just been building up a folder which has got all the email templates in it as we've done them. It's got a spreadsheet template. I record looms all the time. I love a loom
Yeah.
because it but that is a process and that is a system, and it means that one of the things that we do, because I have lots of different VAs in my business, is no matter how small the task is, I just ask them to record it as they're doing it on Loom, because then if they're off, someone else can step in and do it. And that's essentially, so it doesn't always sit with just one person. So the point of having a system and a process doesn't have to be a massive flow chart or a massive document. It just needs to be, this is when we do it. It's done every Monday. This is how you log into the system, and this is what we'd like it to look like.
Yeah.
And it could be that simple, you know. But if you have that for every single task in the business, it's not reliant on one person having it in the head. I mean, I've where I've worked before, I've left, and it was all I was the font of all knowledge type thing, and that's where I've learned, and that was in corporate world. Um, and you don't really want that for your business, because if someone leaves, you want it to be able to carry on.
Yeah. I do agree with you. When they say systems and processes, I'm like, "Oh my God, what even is this?" And I'm like, we have tons of processes. They're just Word documents that are all saved in like a process folder, and some are like teeny tiny things, others might be
Yeah,
a little bit longer, that we've just written that we can just give to someone and they'll be able to do the same as anybody else. And
yeah,
that is your systems and processes, isn't it? It
yeah.
doesn't have to be, like you said, some big fancy floor diagram. Ours are literally just Word documents and spreadsheets
But
and
what it does is it keeps it consistent for
yeah,
your company. So to the outside world, everything is done on brand. It always has the Fresh logo on it. The font is this. The color is always black, or
yeah,
it's for the font. Stuff like that. It's literally so you can just hand it off to someone else and say, "Can you send that email for me? This is how we do it."
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. But when you start first working with clients, what is the first system or maybe area of the business that you tend to look at for them?
It does depend on what they've come to us for. Sometimes they don't come to us needing anything. They just
Yeah,
need the support.
yeah,
So we work with like, you've got your own processes and stuff, and we still help you. We work with companies that have process, like what I class as a proper company, which is really stupid, but people that have got like lots of employees, we
yeah.
work with them. Um, but what we would normally do is we would um, have a Zoom call with them so that we can record it. And then they just go through everything that they do in their business. I do a systems and process audit, like a one-off thing. And
Okay.
what I tell them to do is there's like a bit of pre-work before they can come to the call. So I kind of say, go through your bank account, as well as knowing what systems you've got, and actually look at what you're paying for and list that out. Then list out all the systems that you might have on a lifetime license or anything that you've purchased, even if you don't use it. And then we say, and how do you currently work? How do you currently, let's say it's an onboarding of a client, how does that currently work? And how would you like it to look? and then we'll go away, look at what they've currently got systems wise. As in, when I say systems, I mean things like MailerLite and
Yeah.
finance systems and stuff like that. Um, and how we can make it work more efficiently with what they've already got. Because a lot of the times, because you're busy in the doing, like if you have an onboard, you take on a new client, you go, right, okay, I've got to send an invoice, then I've got to send them a contract, then I need to figure out how they can sign that contract, then I've got to send them the email that says let's get started, and it all becomes very clunky.
Yeah.
It works, but it's very clunky, it's very time consuming, and it is not documented, number one, because
Mm.
they don't have a process. So we kind of look at it as a whole on how they want it to work, and then we'll come to them and say, you could do it better this way. And it might be that a lot of the time, a few years ago, we had someone come and do one of these audits, and they didn't want to pay for like an all singing, all dancing system, the ones that do courses and email marketing and all of
Yeah.
the payments and things, because it was, I don't know, $400 a month. So what they had were 10 smaller little systems, I'm exaggerating the number there, that were cheaper. But when we actually looked at it, they were spending more every month on those cheaper ones that were needing to be worked around than just this one all-in-one system. So sometimes because you go, right, I don't know, I'm just MailerLite, and then I want to do a payment thing. So then I need to get something to add them together. And then you just keep adding and adding. And because you're in it, you can't see a
It
way out.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? That it's when you're in the business and you're doing it and you miss them types of things, like something that you probably just look at it and you straight away you're like, hang on a minute, you are wasting your money here. But someone who's there paying for these subscriptions and everything like that, and they just totally miss it because they're so busy
Yeah.
doing all this other stuff, and you can literally just look at it and be like, no. We've got quite an easy problem to fix here,
Yeah.
but it's crazy. It just take all you need is someone like outside the business though, isn't it? With like a fresh set of eyes on it to look at it and be like, this isn't working.
No.
No, yeah, that's crazy. But we've spoke about earlier on, like about the delegation and how people find it hard to delegate. But what do you see like the biggest mistakes people make when they start delegating, and how can they avoid making those mistakes?
Not being clear in what they want.
I can imagine that, yeah.
Um, so I'm very good. And again, at the beginning, I'll always say, expect a lot of questions. It's not because we don't know what we're doing. It's because we want to make sure we're doing it how you want it. Because essentially, we're all doing the same things. We're all doing email marketing. We're all doing invoicing. We're all onboarding clients. Every business is doing the same thing,
Yeah,
but everyone has a different vision of how they want that to look. Um, so if and I am, when I first started outsourcing my social media, I just said, yeah, just do what you want. Don't really care as long as there's posts going out,
yeah,
because I didn't have the time to look at it and go, this is how I want it working.
yeah,
Um, so not being clear with what it is that you expect, what it is that you want to happen, um, and just assuming that people know is a big
yeah,
um, mistake. Mistake isn't the word. And even now with clients that I've worked with for a long time, something might not, like we might run a course or a launch something, and something hasn't happened, and it's because it hasn't been communicated to us that they wanted it happening, and they just assumed that we know because we're in their business, we know their business.
yeah,
Um, so don't assume that everybody knows everything.
yeah.
Um,
You have to be like extra communicative, don't you? Because obviously, if there's someone in your business doing that, it's probably they know the business, they're here all the time, they can see it happening. But then you have to not like talk to people like they're stupid, but like you need to literally lay it all out on the table, don't you? Like every single thing, because and what you're expecting. Otherwise, how can you expect anyone to get
Yeah.
that right?
And deadlines are always good. If someone doesn't give
Yeah,
me a deadline, it'll never get done. Well, it will, but, eventually.
yeah.
But, so one of the things when people say, "Can this be done?" No problem. When does it need to be done by? Is like the standard question back, because 9 times out of 10 it needs to be done yesterday.
I was gonna say, I bet you get ridiculous deadlines, like, "I need it doing, now."
It's generally yesterday. Um, but then that's about setting expectations from our side. And again, in the early days, I want all VAs are inherent people pleasers. So we just want to do a good job and we just want everyone to like us. Um, so in the early days of my business, I would go, yeah, no problem, I'll do it. At the detriment to me, I'd be working at 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday on New Year's Eve, or, but now if they say I needed it doing yesterday or I need it doing now, because their busyness isn't always, me reacting to their busyness doesn't always help them in the long run. And I've found that the clients that we work with, where we push back, if they're saying, I need this doing now because I've just thought of it and I want to run a webinar tomorrow. If the ones that we push back and go, that's not going to help you. No, we're not doing it. They're the ones then that it makes them kind of plan. And we are quite good at, with the retainer clients that we have, is we will always book in, like sometimes we'll say to them, we'll have a 20-minute call once a month. You can tell us what your plans are for the month. And then when they deviate off that, we can pull them back in and say, no, you're not doing that this month. We're focusing on what we're focusing on.
Yeah,
So deadlines are, again, key,
yeah.
because if you don't tell someone when you want it doing by, don't expect it to get done by the date you want it doing by.
Yep. We see it all the time in recruitment. People,
Yeah,
because
I
obviously
bet you
with
do.
recruitment, people try to do it themselves first. It's the same like with you, that everyone's trying to do it themselves first, and then they'll come to us because they've got to a point where they realise they can't do it themselves, and they're like, "We desperately need someone. We needed them yesterday." And I'm like, doesn't work like that. Like we can be quick, but not that quick. Like it takes a lot to, it's not as easy as just like clicking your fingers and we can just
No.
go and find you someone for tomorrow. So it is about like when they give you those deadlines, setting those expectations. And
Yeah.
it's like you said, when you push back and say, actually, that's not going to happen, and then they start to realise, I feel like they work better with you then. Whereas if you
Yeah.
say, "Yes, I can do that for you," and then you don't deliver on that, that is when you get the problems, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm gonna guess in recruitment it's the same, it's kind of similar. So if someone said to me, I want it can you set me up a landing page and all the automations and everything? I want to run a webinar tomorrow. It's not gonna be to a high standard. So if
No.
from recruitment someone says I need them yesterday, chop chop, you could get them a candidate, but they're probably not going to be a very high quality one because you've
Yeah.
not been able to vet them and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It takes time to do a good job, and so yeah, you are right. If you want stuff doing quick, you're probably not going to get the best results. So we do always set expectations with that. And it's hard because it's like you
Yeah.
said, you want to help everyone and you want to be like, "Yes, I can do that for you." But in reality, it's just not possible, and you've just got to tell people, haven't you,
Yeah.
that you can't do it, and people might not be happy about it, but in the end you get the better result than if you'd have
Yeah.
rushed
And if then
anything.
and it might be that means that we're not right for them.
We
And
always
I have
say this.
parted ways with clients because of that, because I
Yeah,
go, I'm not if you want that level of service, which isn't really a level of service, it's just
no.
reactiveness all the time, then we're not the right people for you because we're not going to help you grow. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been in the same position before as well, where it's like, if that is what you want, then we can't deliver. We don't wanna compromise on the service and the
Yeah.
quality, so we can't do that. And it's hard at first, but once you've done it a couple of times and you're
It's
like,
easier.
yeah, it gets easier. Yeah. Right, so final thing, when it comes to delegation, systems, processes, organisation, all that stuff that we've spoke about, what is your top tip or tips for people to take away? Tips, couple.
Keep it. The first one is just keep it simple. Don't stress about it. And some, if you've never, if you've been running your business, it's just you all the time doing everything. You actually don't know what you can delegate out because you do it all. So it's hard to say, well, I could get rid of that. I could get rid of that. So it's an old thing that everyone tells you to do, but just note down everything that you're doing for like 2 weeks, no matter how big or small. Just note it down on a piece of paper or on your notes on your phone, and then go through that and split it up into 3 lists. I like things I like doing, or I can only do, things I don't like doing, and things I'm not very good at. And then you'll find that the things you don't like doing are the things that you're not very good at, and you start delegating out off the not very good at list, and just start small. Just kind of move up the list until eventually the stuff that you're doing left is the stuff that you like doing or only you can do. So you don't have to, just start small, really. You don't have to go, right, I've got a delegate, I need help. I've
Here's
got
like
to take
half
on
of everything that I do.
Yeah, just take everything in mind. And, it doesn't have to cost a lot. It doesn't have to you don't have to commit long term. You're not employing somebody. You could just bring someone in for a project to do
Yeah.
a small thing. So start small and keep it simple, and be clear on what it is that you want them to do.
And deadlines.
Deadlines.
Yeah, deadlines and keep it simple and be communicative. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
deadlines is like the one we take away from this. Make
Deadlines.
sure you give people deadlines. Yes. Fab. So that's the questions out the way. We're going on to my favourite part of the podcast, which is fresh or stale, which I believe we might disagree on some of these. So
This is the hard part of the interview.
yeah, so normally it's 5, but we have added in an extra one that I think you'll like
Thanks.
at the end of this. So I'm just going to throw some words, phrases your way. You just need to tell me if they're fresh, so we like them, they're fabulous, or they're stale, we don't like them.
Oh, joke.
So we've got, I think I'm scared about your answer for this. Chocolate orange.
That's a stale, big
Are
no for
you
me.
joking?
No, I could do a mint chocolate. Can't do orange. Don't belong with it.
Why?
Dirty. It's just dirty.
Oh, it's my favourite. Terry's chocolate orange is like my favourite thing. It's all
When they
anything
brought out the
anything.
mint one, I was in heaven when they brought the mint one out. I was buying one a day.
Oh yeah, my sis. That's like my sister. She's into like mint. She loves after eight, so anything like that. But
Yeah,
oh
not
god,
orange.
does it
I
actually?
do like oranges,
Yeah,
and I like chocolate,
just
just
not
not together.
together, right? Oh, that it makes me really sad. That.
Can we not be friends now, Vicky?
No,
Sorry, sad time.
no. I'm like that is such a big thing for me. Next one is ice baths.
Oh, that's fresh. I love an ice bath.
What? Are you joking? I feel like I'm
I
finding out so much about you here. I
know. I
like
come
them.
across as really boring, but I'm not.
Why do you like an ice bath? That's mental.
Well, it helps you with your mental health.
Yep.
Because all you can think about is Jesus, this is cold. Jesus, this is cold. So there's nothing in your head other than Christ, this water's cold.
Yeah.
For 3 solid minutes, or however long you sit in it for.
Is that how long you do? 3 minutes?
I do like usually 5, maybe. I've got issues, Vicky. I've got issues. I've got a bath in the garden. And it's got a chiller on it, so it's at a constant temperature. Because we first got one of those ones, where you dump the ice in.
Yeah.
And then it got to the summer, and I couldn't keep it cold enough, so I kept moaning until my husband said, "Come on, then we'll get a chiller." I'm working on him for a sauna now because I want a sauna and an ice bath. Yeah, I love it.
What
I'm
temperature
not
do
a
you have
fan
it set as?
It's currently set at 6 degrees, which is all right.
What
It's
what
not
do you
that good.
what can you take it down to?
0. Doesn't go below 0.
But do you get in it at 0?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I mean, well done. Like that's some like mental strength to be able to get into it. It's just not for me. I
No.
don't like
Well,
being
I found
told.
again, my daughter she's just turning 14. When she first went to secondary school, for a month, I don't know why, I didn't tell her to, but as soon as she got home from school, she got in the ice bath straight away, obviously not in her school uniform. And she just said it, because year 7 for girls is like, it's horrendous, isn't it? And she just said it cleared her head from all the chatter from the day,
Oh,
because
I love
all you can
that.
do is think about, Christ, this water's cold.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't think of anything else, will you?
No, no.
No. I like maybe I mean, I've never tried an ice bath. I used to try, do you know when they tell you to turn your shower cold at the end? And I didn't
That's
like.
harder.
Do you think?
Yeah?
Oh, okay, because I didn't like that. So that's why I've never tried an ice bath. I'm like, that will not be for me. So, but
It's
that's
not an ice
wonder.
bath, it's 6 degrees, isn't it? So it's not technically an ice bath, it's just a cold water outside in my garden.
Wow. Well, yeah. Well done for doing that. um, right. Next one is pineapple on pizza.
Stale. No.
I, totally opposites. I love pineapple on pizza. Ham and pineapple pizzas are great.
Dirty.
No, not a fan at all. You don't think it belongs on a
No.
pizza?
Doesn't belong on a
All
pizza at
right,
all.
we'll move on.
Go move on.
Next is roller coasters.
Oh, they're in the middle, I
Okay.
think. I like the idea of a roller coaster,
Yep.
and then when I get in the queue, I build it up so much in my head that I don't wanna do it, and then I get on it and I go, "Oh, that was rubbish." Because I'm if you go in a queue and it's really long and I'm going, "This is gonna be I'm so scared," and then I'll get on it, like, Oblivion or whatever, I go, "Oh, that was rubbish, wasn't it?"
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
think
I'm
as
a
I've
mix.
got older, I feel like
Yeah,
it's slowly. So when I was younger, I was like, love them, like no fear. And then as you get older and you're like looking at them, you're like, is this safe? Like,
yeah.
and do you know when you get on it and you're like making sure that you're properly strapped in, I'm like, is there any way this can open? So yeah, I feel like it's gone down as I've got older.
It's when you see the people having to walk off the big one at Blackpool, and I'm like, I don't think I fancy doing that.
No, I value
Maybe
my
it's
life
having
more.
kids. I don't know. Maybe it's having kids that's made me not want to do it, but I'll do the waltzers. I like a waltzer.
I don't like spinny
Um,
things that makes
do you
me
know?
sick. No, I have really bad like travel sickness, so stuff like that is just not for
Oh,
me. So yeah,
no. Well, we agreed on one.
yeah. There we go. Maybe we might agree on this next one. I don't know. Home bargains.
Oh, I love a home bargains
Yay!
trip.
Me too.
Yeah,
Like a day out,
love
isn't it?
it. Oh, especially the ones that have got a cafe in them, because you can spend all day there.
Which ones have got cafes in them?
The one at the Capital Centre in Preston that has a cafe in it. It's massive,
Oh wow, didn't know that. Well, oh my god, feel like I need to go to that one.
and it's next to a Home Sense as well.
Oh, I
So you're
love
winning.
Home Sense as well, the candles, yeah. Oh my god, I'd spend so much money though. Home Bargains is one of them places that I go to, not particularly needing anything. I'm just like, "Oh,
Wow, never need
yeah,"
anything.
and then you're like 50 quid lighter
Yeah.
when you come out and you're just like, "Why have I bought all this stuff?"
My kids love a home bargain trip. My dad loves a home bargain trip as well. So when we go to visit my mum, he'll give them like a tenner each and say, "Come on, we'll go to Home Bargains."
You can get so much for a tenner as
Yeah.
well, so yeah, that is a treat. Right, and then the final one is judges not showing up to their interviews.
I can't. Why commit? Why volunteer for something? You volunteer. We haven't
I
pushed
know,
you forward yet
no
for it.
one's been forced. And
And
then
then just ghost me. Do you know how many people have ghosted me? They've volunteered, filled in taken the time to fill in a form. That's me filling in a form. They've taken the time to fill out a form and upload a picture
yeah,
because we asked for the upload headshot, and then ghost us completely.
yeah.
Or commit to it and then just don't turn up on the day. It's rude.
Yeah. I know, because there's been a couple of people who have emailed, haven't they, and said they
Yeah,
can't do it, and I'm like, fair enough, like, things happen, but it's the
exactly.
ones who just disappear off the face of the
Yeah,
earth, and I'm like, "What what's happened here?" Like, it's frustrating, isn't it? It's
yeah.
very stale.
And very stale. And what drives me even crazier, because the judges are giving up their free time, um, and they're all very busy people.
Yeah.
Talk about busyness, they're all very busy people. Is the finalists that don't turn up.
Oh, we've had less this year though, haven't we? But
We're on it this year, but I just think, you know, the Freshies. I think the Freshies are brilliant awards. I think they're brilliant. What you do for the local charities and things like that, and to be nominated for one, brilliant. To get to the finals, brilliant. Book your interview, accept your interview, and then say, "Ah, I can't make it today. Actually, I booked the dentist as well. Can you know?" I just think
it's crazy.
priorities.
It's crazy, but it's getting better year on year. We haven't had as
Yeah,
many this year. Um, but yeah, it blows my mind that you take the
yeah,
time to like plug for votes, like you're posting it all over because you without doing that, you aren't going to get through to be a finalist. Like if
no,
someone's just nominated you and you're like, actually, I don't want to be part of it, you probably aren't going to get through because you're not plugging it and getting loads of votes. So you've actually like spent time posting it on your social
yeah,
media, getting people to vote for you, and then you're just like, oh no, I'm not,
can't be
not,
bothered.
yeah, not going to show up. I'm like,
Can't be bothered.
someone else could have taken that spot. It
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think a few years ago, I think this is my 3rd year of helping
yeah,
you with the freshies. I think a few years back, it was probably people didn't take it very seriously. They
yeah,
didn't think, and you know, everyone at Fresh is all very lovely and nice. So they'll message going, "Any chance I can do it tomorrow instead?"
no,
No. But I think as the years have gone on, the prestige of the awards is growing. So
yeah.
people are taking it more seriously, for want of a better word, as they should. So it is getting better, but there's still those few that think, "Ah, it's just Laura and Vicky and Emily, and you know they're nice. They'll let me do it."
Well, they
But
might not
no,
be after this year because 'cause we've been quite harsh this year, haven't we? If they're
no,
like, "Can we
that
rearrange?" It's like,
nope.
"No, you can't." Then that's the end of that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we have had someone interview this year. They were on their honeymoon
I
and they
know.
dialed in.
Yeah, she
So
zoomed in, didn't she, from was she in the Maldives or something like that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that to me shows that they're committed to, because not all awards are, you know, you've got the Red Rose, that's a big award.
Yeah.
And the Freshies are also big awards, but for a different reason, I
Yeah, they
think.
are very different, yeah, so
Um, but if people want, and everyone loves getting recognition for the work that they do, don't they? And an award is a way to do that. You don't have to pay to enter.
no.
You don't have to, you know, it's just a lovely, lovely, lovely awards.
It is, and
I
why
just think
wouldn't you
they're
want to be
brilliant.
part of it? And the interview is literally 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes of your
Yeah.
time, and that is it. But we've had a much more successful year this year. It's getting
Yes.
better year on year. So,
Have you
yeah,
still got tickets left?
yeah. Tickets
Yeah.
left if people want to come along. I could speak to you all day about the freshies. I actually
I
could,
love
but
it.
we
I'm
you need
so
to
glad that you
you
let
need
me
to
get in. I'm just glad that I'm able to be involved in
yeah.
it, because I think it's brilliant.
And I'm very glad that you're involved in it because I don't
Thank you.
know how I could do all the stuff with the interviews and judges and all the spreadsheets you make. And I'm just like, thank you for your help with it because that kind of stuff is just not my thing. I'll just sort it out in the background while
Yeah.
you do all that. But yeah, that is the end of the podcast. Thank you very
Okay.
much for joining me, Kylie. It's been lovely. If people want to go and find you, where can they find you?
LinkedIn's probably the best place.
Yeah.
Um, I think I'm Kylie Jones, ABA. I'll send you my details. You can pop it in the show notes.
Yeah. Kylie Jones on LinkedIn. And then
LinkedIn.
if you want to
Advantage Virtual Agency. You'll find me from that on LinkedIn as well.
okay, Cool. So yeah, that's where you can find Kylie. If you want to check out Fresh Perspective, you can go to our website, which is fp-resourcing.co.uk. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn as Fresh Perspective. My LinkedIn is Vicky Taylor. If you want to go and look at any of them. If you've enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. Please leave us a review, and we will be back again in 2 weeks with another fantastic guest. So thank you very much for listening. Bye.
Bye.